6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check. Good.
We're looking at 71 degrees now in Tallahassee.
This is your Fox 49 News at 10.
Get the discussion moving and find a fix. Melanie, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
A forum on regulating artificial intelligence turned personal for one concerned mother. Her message to lawmakers as a proposal on AI prepares to stall in the House. In Washington, D.C., President Trump held a meeting of his own discussing the new era of college sports, the bill that aims to regulate an athlete's name, image, and likeness. The merging of Tallahassee and Leon County's government could end up on the November ballot.
Do people in this community, do they really want to pay one government or have to pay two governments? And that should be a choice possibly that we find out.
The debate among city leaders and what you need to know ahead of next week's vote.
This is your Fox 49 News at 10.
My son cut his arm open with a knife. in front of his siblings and me.
A mother gave an emotional testimony this morning about the dangers of artificial intelligence. During a forum chaired by Governor Ron DeSantis, Mandy Furness says a chatbot nearly killed her son. Efforts are now underway in the legislature to establish regulations on what AI can do. But as Fox 49's Nick Carmia reports, those protections are on the verge of being stalled in the House.
The Florida Senate just passed Senator Tom Leake's so-called AI Bill of Rights, a proposal backed by Governor Ron DeSantis, but the House Speaker says it might not even get a vote.
Really don't know if we'll ever get him back.
Inside the Capitol, the policy debate turned personal. Mandy Furness told lawmakers how her son, once a gifted student who dreamed of building robots for NASA, began changing after clicking on an AI chatbot. She says the warning signs were subtle at first: depression, anxiety, and self-isolation, then anger when his phone was taken away.
It was an advertisement that he just clicked on, and before he knew it, it was abusing him.
Within months, she says her son was flunking out of school. He stopped caring about his future and eventually tried to take his own life.
He ended up in a mental hospital and a behavior center, and then a mental health facility for 9 months just to get him better.
Furness says the chatbots are designed to hook kids fast, and right now, she argues they're not regulated like they should be. The Senate agreed, passing a bill that would require parental consent for minors using companion chatbots and force AI systems to disclose they are not human. But the House hasn't taken it up. With session nearly over, Furness has a message for lawmakers.
We need to put our children first. We need to put it over profits or popularity.
Now, parents and experts called for urgent guardrails on chatbots and deepfakes, but with the House signaling it won't take up the Senate's bill, the governor's push for state AI rules may stall before session ends. In Tallahassee, Nick Carmia, your Fox 49 News.
This legislative session is scheduled to end next week, though the governor could extend it if a budget deal is not reached. Right after this morning's meeting in Tallahassee, the governor flew directly to Washington, D.C. for another forum, this one chaired by President Trump, focusing on college athletics. The NCAA is coming under fire for its current business model and how it's impacting student athletes. The forum was called Saving College Sports, and it featured former Alabama coach Nick Saban, Governor DeSantis, and former FSU Heisman Trophy winner Charlie Ward. Fox 49's James Hill joining us now. And James, one after another, some of the nation's leading sports and political figures said, in effect, college sports is a mess.
That's right. The goal was to get the conversation going and find a fix. President Donald Trump invited 35 high-profile college sports leaders to the White House. The goal of the College Sports Roundtable is to reshape and regulate the current college era.
If Congress does not take action fast, it could destroy college sports and destroy the colleges that play these sports.
House Speaker Mike Johnson said there is a bipartisan bill calling for regulations to help the student athlete and the college institutions.
The SCORE Act addresses it because it creates a national NIL standard, and then it allows the associations the authority to make rules on transfers and compensation caps and the things that are really burdening the system.
Pete Bavakwe is the athletic director at Notre Dame. He says money going out is out of control.
It's become a runaway financial train. And if it continues to be that way, even the healthiest of universities are going to have to make incredibly difficult decisions that are going to impact women's sports and Olympic sports. There's simply no way around that.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says there's a lot of things wrong with the current system.
We know this is out of whack. We went from a system where you couldn't give a student athlete anything. They could sell your jersey, you get nothing, to now quarterback throws for 300 yards and they go see the coach. Hey, I need more money. Give me more money from the club. Okay, I'll transfer. Or they get money and I don't want to play in that bowl game. Sorry, I'm just going to sit out.
Rules without enforcement equals chaos.
Satisfied
Florida
people.
head coach Urban Meyer backed up DeSantis' comments.
And
he said in the old days, if you violated a rule,
a
you got
person
in
that
trouble.
knew absolutely nothing about sports made a ruling, and she turned the whole thing upside down. And it's really a disgrace. You want to know the truth, a damn disgrace. But we are where we are, and we'll figure something out. And it won't be easy, and it won't be as good. In my opinion, it won't be as good as what you had before, including.
Now, President Trump is going to execute an executive order and hopefully return college sports back to what they used to be. Melanie?
The idea of merging Tallahassee and Leon County government is back on the table. County commissioners are set to discuss whether to place a non-binding straw ballot on the November 2026 election. As Fox 49's Jayla Howard reports, residents are being asked if the two governments should become one.
Consolidating a city and a county government into one structure is rare. Next week, Leon County commissioners will discuss placing a countywide straw poll on the November election ballot. The question would ask voters whether county and city leaders should start planning for it. It's a significant conversation, but not a new one. In a December 9th county commission meeting, county commissioners questioned whether the discussion to merge two governments is worth their time and the public's.
I think we should tread lightly, but I also think that we as elected officials, if we extricate ourselves from the conversation and we extricate ourselves from the idea of political survival and we look at the bigger picture of what is the best functioning government to serve the 300,000 citizens that reside in this county, I think that this conversation is begging to be had.
In that December meeting, Leon County Commissioner Nick Maddox voted against the discussion to explore county and city consolidation. He explained his no in a social media post last November, saying, "My no vote was about balance, timing, and respect for jurisdiction. Before we consider structural consolidation, I believe we should first maximize functional consolidation."
And the question is, do people in this community, do they really want to pay one government or have to pay two governments? And that should be a choice, possibly, that we find out.
Democratic leaders say even discussing a straw ballot raises serious concerns. In a statement, the Leon County Democratic Party said consolidation could diminish black voting power, reduce urban planning authority, and damage opportunities for Tallahassee becoming culturally and infrastructurally more a real city. I called each of the commissioners to ask how they plan to vote next week. None were available today. In Tallahassee, Jayla Howard, your Fox 49 News.
The commission vote to put this issue before local voters takes place March 10th.
First warning weather.
It's almost the weekend here. TGIF. Alan, how is this weekend looking?
Yeah, it feels like it to me. I tell you, it's going to be more of the same, Melanie, where we're looking at warm, humid weather, potentially some late night and morning fog as well. And probably not rain, though, but damp conditions certainly during those overnight hours. And so warm, I mean, temperatures here really will drop to lows in the mid to maybe low 60s for some spots. But most spots is just looking at mid 60s here heading into tomorrow morning. A lot of cloud cover expected in the skies at times here as we do take it through this weekend, so look for that, some fog. However, tomorrow afternoon we should get some sunshine, so look for some morning clouds and some afternoon sun, and then it looks pretty cloudy here on Sunday. High temperatures, though, they're up there. I mean, we're continuing to run warmer than normal with those highs in the low 80s.
It appears tonight Tallahassee police have reached an agreement with city leaders over pay and benefits. The Tallahassee City Commission will vote next week on a proposed $9 million deal that would increase pay for police officers. Fox 49's Courtney Dualaby has what you need to know before that vote.
With the current police contract set to expire in September, city leaders will take a vote at Wednesday's commission meeting on a new agreement for the Tallahassee Police Department. The proposed $9 million three-year agreement between the city and the Big Bend chapter of the Florida Police Benevolent Association would increase pay and pensions for several ranks within the Tallahassee Police Department. The new starting salary would increase to $71,000 a year. That's roughly $10,000 higher than the current starting salary, according to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement records. An item to vote on this increase was recently added to next week's commission agenda. The proposed contract includes officers, investigators, sergeants, and lieutenants. But how would that increase affect other nearby departments that compete with Tallahassee for police officers? Tallahassee allows police officers to live within a 50-mile radius of the city. So here's how the new pay compares to what neighboring departments make. The FDLE figures show a 2024 base salary for Leon County officers of $50,000 a year. In Gadsden County, the figure is over $46,000. The 2024 base salary for Wakulla County shows $49,000. In the city of Quincy, just over $41,000. The Leon County Sheriff's Office told us it has competitive salaries and is not worried about losing anyone. So what can we expect in next week's vote? We reached out to all 4 city commissioners, the mayor, and the Police Benevolent Association for comment. None responded to our requests. The city agenda says the police pay deal should help with both retaining current officers and recruiting new ones. In Tallahassee, I'm Courtney DeWallaby, your Fox 49 News.
The City Commission will take its vote at its regular meeting at 3 p.m. on March the 11th. New tonight, a judge has denied Chipley's Seacrest Wolf Preserve's request to pause their upcoming eviction, giving the group only 9 days to leave the property. The eviction comes after the preserve lost a court battle over liability insurance. The nonprofit now has until March 15th to relocate their endangered wolves. They will also need to remove all of their equipment, trade fixtures, and enclosures. The nonprofit is asking for help finding sanctuaries that'll take the animals in. The Tallahassee Police Department needs your help. Take a look at this vehicle. You can see that on your screen. They're hoping somebody can help them identify it and possibly the driver. The department believes this vehicle is connected to a traffic incident on West Tennessee Street and Junco Court. That incident happened yesterday evening right before 7. Anyone with information is asked to call the Tallahassee Police Department, and their number will be listed on your screen. Right place, right time rang true for the Suwannee County Sheriff's Office. Deputies say while they were recovering evidence related to a criminal investigation at Charles Springs Boat Ramp, they came across a boater in distress. The boater was across the river at Ezell Boat Ramp in Lafayette County. They say the boat unexpectedly began taking on water and those on board started yelling for help. Luckily, the Suwannee and Columbia County Sheriff's Offices were there to quickly respond. The boaters were able to get themselves and their boat safely to shore. Attacks continue in the Middle East as the fight goes into day 7. Why experts are warning this is the most critical moment for the region in the last 100 years. And thousands came together to celebrate the life of Reverend Jesse Jackson, the former president, who were in attendance to pay their respects to the civil rights icon. Coming up.
You're watching your Fox 49 News at 10 with Melanie Levy and meteorologist Alan Strong.
Overnight strikes in Iran marking a week of attacks impacting countries all across the Middle East. Israel hitting Iran and Lebanon with airstrikes, and Iran launching retaliatory attacks against neighboring countries that host U.S. forces. War Secretary Pete Hegseth has said strikes against Iran's capital, Tehran, are going to, quote, surge dramatically. The director of the Middle East Center says this is the most critical moment for the region in the last century.
We're looking at the prospect of a region-wide conflict, which has already begun. Multiple cities are being targeted, cities that we thought were oases of calm. So until the dust settles, we're not sure where things are going to be going.
Meanwhile, Iranian state television reports a leadership council is planning a future meeting to pick Iran's new supreme leader after Ayatollah Khomeini was killed last week. After firing DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, President Trump suggests his dismissal of her was not solely based on her job performance. During a phone call with NBC News, Trump said he believes Noem has done a good job in her role, but that he is a big fan of Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin, who he has asked to replace her. Trump was critical of Noem for approving a $220 million ad campaign, largely featuring herself encouraging immigrants to self-deport. Noem has also faced criticism after federal officers shot and killed 2 citizens in Minnesota that she suggested were domestic terrorists. Mullin will take over on March 31st. A public homegoing service for the late Reverend Jesse Jackson was held today in Chicago. Former Presidents Clinton, Obama, and Biden attended the civil rights icon's memorial service. Former Vice President Kamala Harris and multiple Grammy winners were also in attendance. Jackson's son says the service was open to people of all political backgrounds. He says his father's life covers a broad spectrum of what it is to be an American. The final ceremony, a private service, will be held tomorrow. Reverend Jackson died last month. He was 84 years old. Deadly storms tore a path through parts of southwest Michigan today. This is video you see on your screen from an eyewitness showing dangerous weather conditions. A tornado ripped through several buildings and tore the roof off of a storage facility. This afternoon, multiple tornado watches were in effect for millions across the central part of the United States. Tonight, we know at least 3 deaths are tied to the storms in Michigan.
First warning weather. Here is Chief Meteorologist Alan Strunk.
Well, the extremes show that we continue to run way above normal when it comes to our temperatures around the area. And it's in the 60s now, and it's going to actually hold like that all night long. So just another warm one. Radar showing dry weather, but certainly some fog is possible as we head toward tomorrow morning. Damp conditions can be expected, maybe even a little bit of misty weather, depending on how thick that fog ends up becoming. So nothing is dropping in on the area as far as rain goes. You can see that we've got some pretty robust thunderstorms up into Missouri. In fact, there are some alerts there. You can see these yellow zones right here. Those are tornado watches. That's not headed our way. The blue color on the map on the other side, that shows where some snow is falling. So where the worst of the weather is, it's a clash of very warm, humid air and some cold air. For us to start out tomorrow morning, some clouds, some fog, damp weather, but then by the afternoon hours, maybe even by about midday, we should start to see things clear up. So look for some sunshine midday or into the afternoon hours. But Futurecast tells a story of quite a bit of cloud cover for Sunday, even putting a little color on the map. There's not a real high rain chance, but I just would say don't be surprised if maybe a little shower passes through the area. The rain chances are much better elsewhere across parts of the nation and the south there for Sunday. So as we look ahead through the overnight hours, low temps warm here, just dropping down into the mid 60s. Quite a warm night. That will continue, and then during the day tomorrow, we're going to get up into the low 80s, so very similar weather and temperatures, and you can see how the clouds will begin to clear as we head toward the late morning and midday hours, but certainly by the afternoon we should get some sunshine in the area. And then again tomorrow night we're looking at that possibility for some fog to develop. So we'll just mark it a real low rain chance on Sunday in case something moves through, but most of us will probably see dry weather for the weekend here. Tomorrow does look dry, and then a look ahead just shows that this warm weather pattern continues. We finally have a chance for rain, and we could use some. That's down the road next week. Not a super high chance yet. We'll keep updating you on the percentage, but last night we were discussing, maybe that'll be Wednesday night. Now it looks like it's kind of slowing down. More like Thursday is when we can look for that rain to move through. So hopefully we'll get some, and we'll keep you updated on it.
The Werner Kia Tallahassee 500 is back, and it is bigger than ever. Rebate discounts up to $15,000. Rates as low as 0%. No payments for up to 6 months. Werner Kia is the #1 volume Kia dealer in Tallahassee year after year. The all-new Telluride and K4 hatchbacks are here. Reserve your test drive today. Nobody beats a Werner Kia deal. Nobody. It's Werner Kia Tallahassee 500. Visit us at wernerkia.com.
Your neighborhood, your voice, your story. If something is happening, good or bad, we want to know all about it. Call our news tip line at 850-893-0202 or email your news tips to news@fox49.com. Celebrating our country's milestone with a new exhibit, how the state capitol is honoring the achievements by taking visitors through history. This year marks America's 250th birthday, and Tallahassee is celebrating with a brand new exhibit at the Capitol. It's called the 14th Colony. The exhibit will feature rare artifacts, historic documents, and patriotic memorabilia. It's all curated by the Museum of Florida History and the Florida Department of State. Visitors will have the opportunity to take a deep dive into the Sunshine State's unique history. The 14th Colony is held on the 22nd floor of the Capitol building, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. It is free to the public, and it'll be open until March 31st. March is Women's History Month, and the Leon County Sheriff's Office is celebrating by honoring a trailblazer. Meet Deputy Donna Cormier. She is Leon County's first female road deputy. Cormier attended Florida State University while working at the Sheriff's Office before stepping into her historic role. She went on to work for many years in crime scene investigation and crime analysis. Thank you, Deputy Cormier, for your service and for your lasting example for women in law enforcement. We'll be right back. Stick with us.
All right, Melanie, it's going to be a spring-like weekend again. It's so warm. It's humid, too, no doubt. So we're looking at some late night and morning fog. That'll continue as long as this weather pattern continues. And we're talking highs in the low 80s, so it's up there. Also, I want to mention it might be a little breezy at times on Sunday in particular, but low rain chance Sunday. Just more clouds on Sunday, and then finally ahead, we may see some changes next week, and temperature changes as well for the.
Hey, I'll take those low 80s. That sounds good to me. That's almost summer weather.
Yeah, it's getting
my
up
favorite.
there, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Sure is.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Please come back and join us Monday.